Yeah, League preseason video. We're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch that any second now. Okay, let's see. They've been doing some good changes. Like, they weren't, like, horribly ruining the game. So, I feel like they've kind of stopped ruining the game recently. It seems like they're trying to combat a lot of the issues. So, I think their game design is going in a more stable manner. But we'll see. Like, I'm hopeful about Season 12, but let's hope this video doesn't disappoint.
Safe Locked here on behalf of the League team. We have a lot to cover today, including our plans for preseason,
okay, Jessica,
and game modes.
Dazzle me.
First, let's talk about the state of the game.
If they say state of the game is good and healthy, I will slap someone, okay? I need self-awareness right now. What we need from Riot is self-awareness, acknowledgement, and then they need to be part of the community.
Overall, we're pretty happy with the state of League this season.
I pre-watched this fucking thing. Why? Why can't we have just a shred of self-awareness and understand that the season is this season is not where it should be. The state of the game is not where it should be, okay? Why can't we understand that? Is it that difficult to admit a mistake? Okay. See, maybe I'm being too judgeful here.
But before we get into the details, let's dive into a topic that's been pretty popular lately, which is new champion balance.
No, that's not even... What? New champion balance? That was a topic from Season 8. That was the issue since Season 8 up until Season 11. Okay? That's not the latest issue. There's plethora of issues that you can work on. That's not one right now. Because it's a bit too late to combat already 30 released champions.
When we look at the data, we actually see that new champions have been pretty balanced on release this year.
Yes, they are. You're trying to fix it. We get it. Like, that's not terrible. Vex release, all right. Mundo rework, all right. You know, they're not breaking the game. They're reasonable. Like, you guys have done a great job in that sense. That is not the biggest issue. The only reason you're talking about this is to make it seem like you're combating the biggest issue and solving it. You solved this, but that is not nearly the biggest issue. Not even close.
That said, there's more to healthy gameplay than just win rates. And we're still hearing that new...
They're aware? More to healthy gameplay than win rates? Fuck. They're actually aware. Are we gonna make mages now losable in lane, finally? And make them actually be able to win in lane and lose? Make them have repercussions instead of sitting on 50% win rate because they're just spectating games 4v4?
Champions feel unfair to play against, particularly when it comes to complex abilities or overloaded.
Okay, I'll have a shred of self-awareness here.
Completely
I think.
Honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits over.
Where are my fucking pills, dude? Where are my pills? Get me meds. Get me meds!
But that being said, there have been times when we've given new champions too many tools and had to pull back later to give them more.
Isn't that the definition of overloaded kits?
Samira's ability to dash to allies was removed because it provided too much safety. Combined with her missile blocker, it made CCing...
We're happy with our champions and we do not think they're overloaded. But on release, sometimes they had too many abilities so we had to remove them. What?
Or too difficult, especially since that's one of her main forms of counterplay.
Like, obviously there's gonna be changes. Obviously they're gonna change games, like, when something comes out and you can tell that it doesn't really fit too well. Like, some abilities don't fit. Like, when they did that, I think, Yasuo update, or I don't know, what was the update? They buffed some bullshit, and they realized on PB, like, which is a testing environment, if you didn't know, they realized, like, okay, this doesn't work. This can't go live, even though I said before it can't go live, but it's irrelevant, but yeah.
We consider when we hear a champion feels bad to play against is their intended complexity. We try to make a healthy mix of high, medium, and low complexity champions. In this way, whether you like mechanical skill expression, point and click simplicity, or something in between, there's a new champion that interests you.
I don't think anyone
For
likes
example,
point and click
with VEL'KOZ, we
simplicity.
wanted to create a champion that was fairly easy to pick up, and we're happy to see she's hitting that mark. But beyond just how
I agree.
complex a champion is to play, there's also how difficult they are to understand.
Yes.
We want new champions to have...
That is why Vex has 50% ban rate, even though her win rate is negative. Because the champion is very complex to understand, and people just ban her out of sheer fear, and they have no clue how to play against her.
gameplay, but you shouldn't need a wiki to know how to play with or against them. Learning counterplay is a skill test we do think is important, but knowing what a champ can or can't do shouldn't be a part of it.
What? Wait, what? Wait, I must have misunderstood something.
But beyond just how complex a champion is to play, there's also how difficult
they are to understand.
We want new champions to have unique gameplay.
Unique gameplay? But you have to make them understandable, okay?
Against them. Learning
counterplay is a skill test we do think is important.
But knowing what a champ
can or can't do shouldn't be part of that? How are you gonna put a brain implant that tells me like what a champ does? The only way to learn is through empiricism, by playing and perfecting and understanding what a champ can do. Am I supposed to play the game first time and know all 150 champions? What?
Can't do shouldn't be a part of it. This clarity is something we haven't always hit the mark on, especially with champions like VEL'KOZ, who not only has a complex kit, but was also lacking UI clarity when he was released.
I mean, VEL'KOZ, let's be real, they let the guy who quit the Riot now, the guy, that was his final project, right? 200 years of experience. Like that guy who kept pushing like more and more complex fucking champs. And they just let him go nuts on his final project, and they told him like finish this and get the fuck out of the company finally. And he just went nuts on VEL'KOZ, and he just threw everything he had in his notes from like 15 different champs he was planning in one champ and released it. Like, okay. Like they just let him go nuts on that one, so you can't really use VEL'KOZ.
Designing new champions is a constant balance between making something that's exciting, has clear counterplay, and isn't confusing.
Clear counterplay. Keyword.
New champions aren't just numerically balanced, but that you all feel their...
And once we do feel like we hit the mark on clear counterplay, and we feel like some champs actually managed to get counterplay somehow, even though we tried not to have counterplay, we're gonna release a bunch of items that are gonna be super active and actually ruin even the very, very minute minority of champions that actually felt reasonable. But we're gonna ruin that with a bunch of broken items that are gonna fill in their kits. You know? Very, very good design.
Fair to play against.
I love that they're not mentioning items at all. Like, if they mention items and say they think the item rework was a success, I'm getting the crossbow again. Okay.
A wide variety of picks in every role. We've also seen a healthy improvement in diversity of playstyles across roles, especially in jungle and top lane. Some of
Okay. Yeah, jungle feels extremely diverse, man. I'm having Kiana versus Zed every fucking matchup. Every game is the same shit. I haven't seen a tank top lane in forever, nor jungle. It's just a bunch of gore drinker Sterax jungle top lane. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, April? Wait, no, it's fucking October. Never mind. There's no way.
This is due to direct champion changes, such as the kit adjustments that enable picks like Jungle Darius.
Are they basing this off of the in-house custom games that they're playing? In Riot HQ or what?
Top lane, where we're seeing a ton of champion diversity. And finally, we know that some champion classes have been struggling after the item system update, and we're working on some solutions to help them out. And this brings us to our plans for preseason.
Oh baby,
with that,
let's go.
Things off to Brightmoon.
Let's go to Brightmoon.
Upcoming changes.
Hell yeah, let's talk about it in depth. Preseason 2022. Let's fucking go, baby.
Hey everyone, I'm Brightmoon,
oh, he's smiling.
the lead producer of gameplay on League
He's
of
got
Legends.
a doozy one.
League is like a house. Sometimes we need to do a big renovation to keep it working well, like when we overhauled the item system. And sometimes we just need to add some new furniture. For this year's preseason, we're sprucing things up with improvements to our existing systems, like items, runes, and the elemental rift.
Yeah, he's got a very funky smile.
Let's start with our plans for items. While some champions and classes have lots of build options,
please don't tell me items are a success.
That don't feel like they've got a mythic or legendary that really speaks to them. So we're going to be adding some new items and tweaking some others.
general direction. Do you want them to be more active or less active? What's the idea? What's the game design choice there? What are you trying to achieve?
Two new mythic items. The first one is a support tank item, perfect for.
Okay, so they're just gonna pile up more mythics. They didn't. Okay. So big silence is approval. So they're saying basically the mythics are fine, everything is fine as it is, and they're just gonna add more of them. So they covered the gaps that they didn't hit, which is again a mistake. Like, do you understand? Okay, here's my bold prediction, because I kind of think I understand how this is gonna go. They're gonna add up even more mythics. So now, by having more mythics, reasonable assumption would be you're gonna be able to play more champions. But the very fact that happens there is something they don't really predict. Same thing happened with the last items. Is the champions that were already on top have more options, or they get enhanced better by more items. Okay? And the champions that were already on top, by more stronger items, they get pushed even more. So they exponentially use the new items better than the champs that were struggling. So by adding more items and more broken and more active items, you're not enhancing everyone equally, you're just enhancing the champs that are already stronger, exponentially stronger. Okay? And that is a counterintuitive thing that has been plaguing this season ever since the item reworks. And nobody seems to have a firm grasp on this. And I talked about this so many fucking times, but everyone is so dense. Let's see. Okay, let's see some mitigation in items.
When you
Run some
immobilize an enemy
deceleration.
champion, all
Okay.
nearby enemies will take increased damage from your team for a short period of time.
So a tank engage item.
The second new mythic item is built for mages, who are
Okay.
looking for a little more survivability.
Mages need recover. Mages
It
need
grants
to
damage
play.
reduction that lingers for a few seconds after you get hit. And while the protection holds, you'll also get ability haste. We think it'll be particularly good for longer range.
Longer
mages.
range, yeah.
We need a mythic that helps them survive a dive rather than pile on extra damage. When we updated League's item system, we wanted to give.
Seems like a good idea. They basically revamped my idea that I talked about. I talked about the idea how you want to make the long range characters more proactive, but they went about it in the wrong way. Okay, if you make your choice is to make the game very, very bloody. Everybody one-shots. Literally every role right now one-shots. You're gonna get one-shot by Fiora top lane, you're gonna get one-shot by Kiana jungler, you're gonna get one-shot by the Yone mid lane, you're gonna get one-shot by literally everything. Only ones who are not one-shotting are mages, who were the original one-shotters back in the day. But mages have also very limited damage, so they're burst, but not one-shot. So how do you want to fix that is by increasing the damage while making them radically gankable and weak. So the idea is to still make them vulnerable. Don't make them too safe, because making the safe removes the skill cap of the artillery mages and mages. What you want to do is increase the damage on longer range on an item that I said, or give them execution mechanic. Execution mechanic is specifically good for solo queue because it actually lets them capitalize on low targets, create gold advantage, which is near impossible to create for mages. So they actually have some snowball ability, but it also doesn't ruin the competitive side, because mages in competitive are actually way better. So the idea is to give them more and more damage, and especially execution end. But giving them a shield, I think, can become unhealthy. I think it's a good idea because you still want mages to be back in the game, but I think it's the wrong way to go about it. Now you're gonna make mages into this like tanky thing, lowering the skill ceiling. They can misposition and fuck up, and guess what? Both mages will do the same thing again. You're not changing the status quo of mage versus mage combat. Both of them will go defensive item. Both of them will go corrupting, time reptonic, teleport, resolve fucking bullshit, never die, never lose lane. There will just be farm bots, stun bots, and now to add things up, you can't even kill them because you're just gonna be trying to gank them, and they will be worthless because they will be pointless to gank. And nobody will focus on mid lane at all again, because it's a useless fucking role, and it doesn't really matter. Even if you get one kill, who cares? Ziggs will still gonna defend the lane, Vector will still wave clear one shot, like Orianna will still shockwave. It doesn't matter. Those champs don't benefit or get punished by dying at all, okay? The classical mages, artillery mages, don't care if they get a kill right now or if they get killed. Like, they're always useless. They're always in this like status quo, and nothing changes ever for them. So you want to make the lane more volatile, remove healing. Corrupting needs to get the fuck out. Time Warp Tonic needs to get the fuck out. And you give them execution. So the mid lane can lose. Mid lane can get punished. You get poked. You miss minions. You miss minions, you're behind. This guy gets execution item. Then he kills you. Okay? That's how you make mid lane proactive again. And not boring field where like all gameplay goes to die and you're just spectating games. So I think that the shield is the complete opposite of what I imagined that would rescue this lane. But in a context of like this bullshit meta, like it's a chaotic system. I can't predict how it's gonna go off, but I think it won't be the optimal solution.
Every champion, strategic choices in every game. We still think that's the right goal for Mythics, but our thinking has changed when it comes to legendary
Oh,
items.
please change it.
We think it's okay if some champions build the same legendary in most games, if it's a perfect fit. But we also want you to have plenty of options, which is why we're improving legendaries for mages, assassins, and tanks. For example, assassins can look forward to a new legendary item that gives ability haste, and also refunds a portion of their ultimate's cooldown with enemy takedowns. Tanks that can never get enough
Why are
mana.
you promoting that kind of gameplay? That is the most unfun type of gameplay ever, man. Like, nobody likes... It's unfun. Do you understand? Do you understand that having no impact is not fun? The most unfun thing can do is make champions very, very proactive. Like, look, you're playing versus Zed. You're playing versus Zed. Okay, let's take this as an example. You're playing well. You're reasonably well. You're timing everything. You're chilling. And you survive him in lane, which is, well, not easy if you're playing some squishy mage. So you survive him. You maneuver, you build defensively, you outplay him, and then you survive, okay? You time his ultimate even. He ults your teammate, he gets a kill off of your teammate, then he gets a refund on your teammate, then he gets more haste, and he has less window of downtime. So you got countered, and you will be countered an entire fucking game. There's no windows to punish. You can't push, you can't deny him. There's no windows to punish because he has way too much CDR, and there's no value in tracking cooldowns. Okay, he used ult. I got 15 seconds where I know he has no ult. After that, it's all fuzzy. You know? It's pointless. And that's very unfun.
We'll be happy with a new legendary item that grants bonus health based on total mana, and also burn some of it to create a shield whenever they immobilize an enemy.
Wait, is that Seraph's? Wait.
Or get enough mana portion of their ultimate's cooldown with enemy takedowns. Tanks that can never get enough mana will be happy with a new legendary item that grants bonus health based on total mana, and also burn some of it.
That's gonna be a
to create
rise
shield
item.
whenever they immobilize an enemy.
That's a rise item.
Finally, mages who are tired of being denied their hard-earned kills can rejoice. They'll be receiving a new legendary that grants magic pen against recently shielded enemies.
Okay.
As for
Yeah.
runes,
Yeah, shields were one of the big things that was... Because everything gives a shield now. And mages were struggling to capitalize and finalize kills. So that's solid. It actually gives mages like some playability. And also, I know how they count the first mythic as a shield. If that counts as a shield, will that work with this? Will this item work as a counter to the original item to prevent mages from taking that shield item against mages, actually making the lane more volatile? If that is the case, it shows me that they're thinking ahead and actually predictably, which is something very, very rare that happens, because usually they just rush headlong, like into the wall. But okay, that might be a reasonable offset change to kind of make it very, very specific. It's still too much chaos, and I wouldn't really rely on adding this, then adding this to balance that, then adding that to balance that. It's a bit too much to add into a chaotic system, but okay, we'll see.
there's some good targeted changes we need to make. Most of all, we feel the Inspiration Tree's identity has been pretty unclear. We'd like to broaden its keystone.
I don't know
use
why
cases.
this guy's so creepy to me. He has a weird smile.
For example, we're reworking Glacial Augment to double down on its fantasy of slowing down enemies. We're also making some modifications
Wait,
to
Glacial?
Lethal Tempo to lean into its attack speed fantasy and give it a more distinct use case in the Precision Tree.
Hyper carry?
Up next are bounties.
I don't mind hyper carry meta. Hyper carry meta was very, very macro oriented. And I don't mind hyper carry comps, tank comps. I don't mind any of those because they rely more on macro and higher level gameplay.
Bounties give
Kill
teams
Shot
who are
Reborn.
behind
What's up,
a way
man?
to get back into the game without being a straight shot to victory.
Wait, what? What did he
The
say?
Lethal Tempo.
What did he say here?
Up next are bounties.
Bounties?
Champion bounties give teams who are behind a way to get back into the game without being a straight shot to victory. And this year, we're adding a second way for teams to try and
Okay.
make a comeback. Objective bounties will work like champion bounties, except you cash them in by taking map objectives, like towers or Baron. They ramp up slowly when the enemy team lead grows, and the bounty is shared with your whole team, regardless of who claimed it. taking objectives really is the best way to come back when you're behind.
So I guess they're
You
gonna
wanna
put
help
this
make
on
that a
turrets
clearer
and dragons?
more
and
rewarding
Baron?
strategy. That said, if a team is really far ahead, objective bounties won't change that. Being the better team should always get you a win. So we'll be watching the new bounty system closely to keep things in check. Finally,
Okay, couple of things. First thing, I think it's good because very, very often people don't care about dragons if they play for, like, let's say early game snowball, and they're gonna have like some broken champ who gets ahead early and just runs it down, and they focus on getting kills and they don't play correct macro. This might actually make winning teams play smarter, slower, steadier, so they actually try to get the objectives and not allow the losing team to pick them up. In that sense, it's good. The other thing, this is basically just a hard-coded version of what I had in mind, of how to, like, they had to make objectives more valuable. Basically, making more objectives more valuable would be like a, well, modular solution to this. This is just like hard coding, like, oh, you're behind? Okay, now it's worse. You know, it's a bit lazy as a video game designer, but on the other side, like, I agree with this sentiment, and I think it might be very, very healthy for the game to add this. More playability. Like, the biggest thing about this is psychological factor, and nobody talks about this, or very little people talk about it. Like, the psychological aspect of this is, we got a bounty, we're gonna play, we can win off of the objectives, we can make a comeback. Okay, I'm not gonna wish cancer upon your family after a first blood now, maybe after 2 deaths. You know, it's gonna make people a bit more healthy. You're gonna try to make a comeback, you're gonna try to play the game. Now, the next step in that would be to punish trolls and to actually make LP valuable again. That would also do really well in the psychological side of things, making people fight for their victories a bit more.
let's talk about our biggest addition this preseason, dragons.
We had
I really
dragons.
like how
Dude.
each dragon creates unique terrain.
What is
powerful
this
buffs,
smile, man?
And adds more strategy to the mid and late game.
Okay.
So this preseason, we're adding 2 more.
2 more
Up first
dragons.
is the Hextech Dragon. When your
Okay,
team defeats
okay,
it,
let's
you'll
watch
all
it.
gain additional ability haste and attack speed.
Ability
If you
haste,
claim the
attack
soul,
speed.
You'll receive a chain slow that works kind of like Static Shiv's passive.
Okay,
When
chain
this dragon
slow.
takes over the rift, it creates
Wait, does
Hextech.
that work on just auto attacks? So chain slow is a soul.
If you claim the soul, you'll receive a chain slow that works
That works on abilities as well, right?
kind of like Static Shiv's passive. When this dragon takes over the rift, it creates Hextech gates that can transport you to set locations across the map. The second dragon joining the party
I don't like randomness, repositioning, teleports. It makes the game more active. Like, that shit works in a game like Quake. For a League, it ruins the chess-like gameplay, I think. Because it adds like a great deal of randomness. But, okay.
is Hextech's darker sibling, the Chemtech Drake. When you
Okay,
slay
looks
it, your
badass.
team will deal increased damage when your HP is low, letting you
Execution.
turn around those close team fights.
Okay.
This Dragon Soul provides a second chance at life. Well, sort of.
What?
When you die, you'll enter a zombie state, where you can still cast abilities and continue fighting when you'd normally be looking at a gray screen. And when the Chemtech Dragon putrefies the map, it creates camouflage zones in fixed locations. These dragons might seem
What? Okay, I think it was... Okay, I think they just offset all of the, like, comeback mechanics that they tried to do. I think they just offset fucking everything. I think that's too snowbally. You get execution, you get invisibility, camouflage, like, reset. And the resets work specifically, as we talked about, making champions more powerful, making champions more active, okay? Champion activity is bad. Champions shouldn't be too powerful. This also increases the average strength of a champion, which is bad because, as we talked about it earlier, some champions use it better. Wild example. You have VEL'KOZ, you have Viego, you have fucking Draven, whatever. You have whatever one of these bruisers, Fiora, okay? You have VEL'KOZ, you have Fiora. Okay? Now, Fiora is in a better state than VEL'KOZ right now, so she's obviously above. Now, this dragon, if VEL'KOZ fights for it, he dies. The execution is solid for him. Camouflage harms him. And if he dies, he will cast 1 Q after, dies. Fiora gets reset, and she jumps and one-shots you after dying. Okay, much like the Scion does right now. That's why the full AD Scion works. You also know why I talk about how terrible Scion design is, because it permits terrible gameplay. You just go in, die, and then your passive recovers your mistake. It's just bad. It's just really, really bad. So yeah, it's just very, very rough, man. I don't think that's a good idea. Wait, not execution? What do you mean? Is it not execution?
Your team will deal increased damage when your HP is
low. When your HP is low. Oh, never mind. It's even worse. That's not execution. It doesn't work, again, for slower targets. And that's terrible. That's for, like, lifesteal, disgusting... Oh, no. Oh, no. That's pushing the narrative I talked about even further. Oh, no. That's really bad. Yeah, there's nothing more satisfying than having, like, Olaf with 200 HP killed 3 of my teammates back to back. Yep. Very nice. Okay.
You can expect to see all of these changes on PvE in a couple of weeks, and we'll be looking for your feedback in the months ahead.
I don't think you're looking for shit, dude.
Outside of preseason, something we've heard from all of you is that you'd like more ways to express yourself and your achievements in League. For some of you,
I feel like you're getting very, very selective with these. Like, all of us are wanting something. I feel like you're getting very, very selective and just taking the things you guys want to work on. Because there's plenty of things the community is unanimous about, and none of them were mentioned in here. Okay? Items were a mistake, everyone knows it. Everybody fucking wants tribunal or a better punishment system than just regex and regular expression, like banning people off of like slurs and not inting. Like, we want to cleanse the community. Nobody wants MMR to be inflated. Everybody wants to get rewarded for the gameplay. Nobody wants a 2000 LP fucking challenger. Okay, nobody wants that. Even though that affects only like the high strata, so not many people are vocal about it, but pretty much everyone in high elo says the same fucking thing. Okay? People are unanimous about these things. Much like they were about the Champions kit and being overloaded. And you guys fixed that. Granted, 4 seasons too late and the damage has already been done, like, because you filled in like 30 champions that are like consistently wrecking the structure from within. But, dude!
Great, we don't want to change that. But for those of you who aren't focused on the rate climb, there aren't great ways to express your own progress. Champion Mastery and Eternals...
Can you sell me more achievements, please? I mean, it's very hard to track achievements. Can we sell more? I mean, imagine getting that shit for free, like in other games.
Your broader League legacy. The new challenges system should achieve just that. Challenges rank up over time, showcasing your increasing mastery and legacy across a bunch of different systems, modes, and gameplay, making it a little different than just a standard achievement. We want to highlight not just your rank and champion mastery, but also your inventiveness, breadth of placement.
They're stealing from Apex again, 3 badges, 3 badge system that showcases 3 things you've done, like that you choose you want it displayed. Again, Apex stuff. Like the whole Eternals thing was also stolen from Apex. Might as well steal ranked system from Apex, you cunts.
Styles, collection, and everything else in between. Want to showcase your knack for never dying in ARAM? Or how great you are at killing minions in SR in the first 10 minutes? Maybe you've collected over 100 champions, or love participating in events. All of this is now possible to track and display your progress with challenges.
Okay, whatever. Something for casual player.
Challenges when they hit PvE.
A bit irrelevant.
The full system,
but I can tell you, I've talked to literally everyone in the League community, and not everyone is excited for this, and not everyone wants it. So I know where you guys got like everyone, but yeah, I talked to them. They said they didn't want it.
That's all I have to share with you today. Thanks so much for watching. And here's SafeLocked again to talk about the game.
I kind of feel like we're getting trolled. Like that smile like shows me a little bit of sarcasm. Just a little bit of like a hint. Like, I'm kind of fucking with you guys. I know I'm fucking with you, but I'm fucking with you. You know? It's a little bit of, like, a minuscule amount of trolling.
One thing we've been hearing from you all is that you'd like more variety in the modes we bring back alongside events. So, let's talk about it.
Yeah, like, where's the new client?
To start, we actually agree that the existing rotation of game modes can make some of the most popular modes like Earth and One for All feel a bit stale. Some of you have asked why we just don't bring back some of our other older game modes like Star Guardian Invasion or Ascension to mix things up.
Ascension?
And the answer is that bringing back old modes isn't as easy as flipping a switch. League is constantly changing, which means all of our existing modes require constant upkeep. For example, when we released Yumi, we had to figure out how she'd function in One For All. What happens when a Yumi attaches to a Yumi who is attached to a Yumi? Because
Yeah, I
of
get it.
upkeep like
I get
this,
it. On the backhand, like
have-
coding side, this is like a horrible, absolutely horrible issue. Honestly, like they can do like the lazy thing and just like disable a couple of champs for this, but that would mean like they're not very modular and the champion design is bad in the first place. I totally agree. This is very, very difficult. Now, what I think they should do is just let the community make things. Release the editor. Release the editor and let people make their own game modes. Okay? That's all I want. That is all I want, and I'll stop playing ranked. Just give me the editor, give me like a community hub where I can play different maps people made and game modes and download them and invite teammates. That's all I want, okay? Like how did we go 12 years without that? Please tell me.
be very selective about the modes we maintain. And right now, there are just too few popular modes that feel worth the investment compared to making brand new modes or updating more resonant ones for you. We've mentioned this before, but we think the sweet spot for game modes are ones that amplify champion fantasies and really build on what you love about your champs and
Please let community do it. They're so much
moving
better
forward,
at
we're
it.
focusing on adding more game modes that hit this goal.
Yes, give the community
And to
to
that,
make game
let's
modes.
talk about Ultimate Spellbook. First and foremost, you all seem to really love this one.
What?
It was one of our highest engagement modes ever, second only to Earth.
Oh, you mean
Beyond
the-
popularity, we're super happy with how long you spent making oversized champions with Cho'Gath Salt, and by that we mean the total amount of time you spent in Ultimate Spellbook stayed high throughout the event. That gives us
Yeah,
confidence
that one is
it's worth
alright.
keeping
That game
around.
mode wasn't that bad. Yeah.
That said, there are some clear areas of feedback that we want to address. Junglers were forced to take Smite and
Skarner!
Ultimate, which meant they
He's on
couldn't choose
200
another
ping.
summoner spell. They also missed out on a lot of exciting plays during the laning phase because they were stuck clearing camps. Beyond that, we also heard that games started to feel a little repetitive due to the small number of available
Yeah, they kept
ultimates.
giving the same
And we
ones
agreed.
out.
So, this winter, we'll be bringing back Ultimate Spellbook with a bigger ult pool.
Okay.
We'll also be making some adjustments for junglers to ensure that your experience in Ultimate Spellbook is just as fun as everyone else's. If you'd like to learn more about our approach to game modes,
Mordekai's a rage
you can
for
check out the
holy
dev
shit.
blog that's coming out today. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you're enjoying Worlds as much as we are, and for any
YouTube! If you're watching this on YouTube, come to the stream, fellas. We're enjoying, we're here every day, we're chatting. And yeah. Leave a like, boys. A bit disappointing, the changes, honestly. It shows me that they are not on the same page with community. We knew that, we expected that. But they're not on the same page with the community. They didn't mention any of the big problems. They clothed some of them as like the biggest problems ever that everyone is raving about, but yeah, they're just touching like some minor stuff. And yeah, I don't think they've learned the lesson. I really don't think they've learned the lesson from activity and game items and champion strength. They're gonna continue with 3 times more buffs than nerfs every patch, making the champions more and more strong. Like average champion strength keeps increasing. New dragons will increase the average champion strength. They're gonna do that with more items. Average champion strength goes up, and soon everything will implode. The champions will be too damn powerful, and soon enough, you will find yourself in games where you don't get to play 5 out of 6 games. You will queue up, and you will just watch 5 out of 6 games. You won't get to play, because the champions have gotten so powerful. When champs are very powerful, the snowball ability is also powerful, okay? So, if someone gets ahead, it's not the same thing, okay? It's not the same thing if Orianna gets 2-0, or if Irelia gets 2-0, if Kayn gets 2-0, if Yone gets 2-0. It's not the same. The champion power is clear. It's been steadily increasing for years, and they haven't noticed it. It slipped by. And soon enough, I guarantee you, mark my words, soon enough you will be spectating games only. Even if you draft the broken stuff. Because the enemies will take the broken stuff as well, and they're going to get fed off of your teammates. And they're going to just run you over. Okay? Even if you play broken stuff. I've been spectating games for a while, but that's because I'm like adamant in playing absolutely useless champs without any impact, and that cannot win or lose lane. Okay? I'm playing garbage. But soon enough, all of you broken champ abusers will get to the point where you play 1 out of 6 games. I guarantee you. If it continues like this. And they're not learning a lesson. Trust me. I was right about every single change in about last 6 years. So, yeah, it's a curse. It's a curse. To be right about everything and nobody listens to you. I too am cursed with knowledge, guys. Fucking hell. Whoo! Boy, that was a doozy. Those 11 minutes felt like 4 hours to me. Not gonna lie. Imagine how Cloud Drake must feel seeing Hextech and Chemtech Drakes. Fun fact, the words healing and sustain were said 0 times. We've been hearing you complaining about overloaded kits for years, and this time want to address the issue and tell you you're wrong. What you to enjoy the game without having... Oh my god. These comments. Champions are balanced, champions aren't overloaded. They really don't even know. Yeah. This is just hilarious. New champion balance has been topic for 6 seasons. Yeah, but they fixed it. They fixed it in season 11. That does... Yeah, like, what do you mean? They fixed it in season 11. Obviously, like, those 5 years of them not listening don't matter, and those champions aren't plaguing the game right now. You know? Shut up, community. Shut up. Stop making sense. How can we argue with you if you're making rational, logical fucking arguments? Community, shut the fuck up. We are Riot Games.
As a hello.
Centade, what's up? That sounds like as a hollow. The fuck? Have I gone hollow, chat? Have I died? Hello! Centade, welcome back. Thank you for 5 months. Appreciated. Much appreciated. You feel like a coaching session later? Ah, maybe. He's gone hollow from all the league. Tryndamere with Undying Rage, GA and Chemtech Soul. And this comment, the fact that the people have arrived at this comment this fast, okay? This comment is exactly the example of what I was talking to you earlier. How clear it is that specific champions abuse specific powers to a way higher extent. Tryndamere exponentially uses this more. Olaf exponentially uses this more than Orianna, than VEL'KOZ, than champs like that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you? Like, please, someone understand. Please. I don't even care if you do. Just someone please say I understand. So I feel like I'm understood for the once in my life. So I can actually stop talking about this fucking forever. Please understand me, chat. Somebody. Somebody just say I understand so I can stop talking about this bullshit all the time. Because I feel like I'm just a ghost. Like, where the fuck is Whoopi Goldberg? I'm just going around and talking shit, but no one sees me. Nobody sees me, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is such a clear example. The very fact that people commented this within like 1 hour showcases that, because their brain clicks. Like, they're not articulating the problem of the game design, but they understand it. Like, deep down they understand this is an issue. Like, oh, Tryndamere with Undying Rage, Chemtech Soul. Like, that's a problem, dude. That is a problem. And why they said that specifically, because that champ can utilize it to like way higher efficiency, like 1000% better than some other champs. So, you think that's healthy? No, it's not.